Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. My name is Cody. Along with me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, buddy?
Not too much, just enjoying the new year.
Yeah, man. We're season 2. Pretty excited about that. And we're starting a new year. Hopefully it gets jump-started a little bit more than what it has Orioles-wise.
Yeah.
But before we get started, anything new going on with you?
No, it's just been the same old. I guess I was in Dallas the other day for the winter meetings.
Oh, yeah, you were.
If you pay attention to our social media, I'm sure you saw videos and posts from there. That was really cool. It's really cool because I'm trying to be in sports media as my career, so it was cool for that aspect. And just as a fan of the game and of people, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Ran into a lot of cool people. Saw Adam Jones, Buck Showalter, Nelson Cruz.
Right.
And then also had some cool career opportunities and stuff that I got into. So shout out to Michael Marcantonini. I know he follows our stuff now, but he's really cool. He got me in contact with some people too. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was a really great experience. Met some new people and stuff.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Really cool. And you made enough money to get us this new studio here.
Yeah.
No,
actually, we bought a building.
No, not true. We're just being that we're finally together. It's one of those things where we were able to kind of make sure we could make it look nice for today, and use this use this little area here. But anyway, so I mean, the biggest thing that's happened since we've been gone is Christmas. That's a pretty big thing, and New Year's and everything. It's 2025, but Orioles wise, not as much as we wish we could talk about, to be honest with you.
No.
A lot that we could talk about for other teams.
Oh, yeah. Like if you're a Yankees fan or a Dodgers fan, you're probably really happy right now.
Imagine being a Diamondbacks fan.
Yeah, you just got Corbin Burns. Yeah.
We know how you feel, Diamondbacks fan.
We
were there.
Remember, this is about almost this time last year is when it happened for us, and that was a great day.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Congratulations.
But before we get into all the depressing stuff of who we've signed so far, I do have a fun little trivia fact for you here, Cody.
All right, what you got?
So, for Cody and all of our listeners, who was the first Oriole to hit 50 home runs in a season?
Ever?
Ever.
Oriole. What, I would know him, I hope, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Eddie Murray.
No.
Okay.
Much more recent.
Chris Davis?
Not that recent.
Okay. Brady Anderson.
There you go.
Okay.
And then you already said the other name, Chris Davis. They're the only two to have hit 50.
Really? Yeah.
Another fun fact about Brady Anderson, he was actually the first player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 stolen bases in two different seasons. He didn't do the 50-50 like Shohei, but he had a season of 50 stolen bases and a season of 50 home runs. He was the first to ever do that.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Well, what steroids will do for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so.
Make magic happen with Emily at Blue Crab Travel, your Disney vacation expert. Ready to experience the wonder of Disney? Let her help you plan the ultimate Disney getaway. Whether you're heading to Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or a Disney cruise, she has you covered. Emily can take care of custom Disney itineraries, tailored to your family's needs and preferences. She also can help find you exclusive discounts on Disney hotels, tickets, and packages. Imagine a stress-free vacation with hassle-free booking for accommodations, dining reservations, and fast passes. From character meet and greets to thrilling rides, Emily will make sure every moment is unforgettable. Email Emily Jones today at emilyjones@bluecrabtravel.com to start planning your dream Disney vacation.
Well, before we keep moving forward here, let's jump into the Eutaw Street Banter post here, our little newspaper segment. We've got a few updates, Elijah, on a few things that we're reading here. So one of the big ones, in my opinion, is that the Orioles, we signed Andrew Kittredge to a 1-year, $10 million contract. Andrew, he was with the Cardinals last season, had a 2.8 ERA. That's through a little bit more than 70 innings. I think this is a massive signing for us. Really good middle relief pitcher. He instantly probably comes, in my opinion, he's probably one of our top-end bullpen pitchers just with this one signing. I think it's a massive signing. It's not a really sexy name like a Tanner Scott, like we've been talking about. But Andrew Kittredge, I think that's huge. Obviously, another big signing we had was Charlie Morton. We signed him. He's a starting pitcher to a 1-year, $15 million contract. The big thing Charlie Morton's known for is he pitched in Game 7 of the World Series for the Astros a few years back. But he's been with the Braves since 2021. Last year, not so great. as he went just 8-10 with a little over a 4 ERA. So I think our big thing with him, we're really hoping that he can help us with some innings, be an innings eater, kind of like a Kyle Gibson type. So hopefully he can do that for us. A couple other big things we're reading here is the Orioles avoid arbitration with everyone except for Jorge Mateo. So he's going to have to go in front of a arbitration judge to settle that one. You can learn more about that just through like Rockabaco or somebody like that. That can get really messy as you start to read about arbitration. But it will be settled. It's just if the Orioles win arbitration, then it's going to cost. It's going to be less money for Jorge that he will make this year. If he wins, obviously, then the Orioles are going to have to pay up a little bit. It's not much. I think it's about a $500,000 difference currently. And then the Orioles, they claim relief pitcher. I'm gonna butcher this name, but Ronci Contreras. But he played for the Reds last season. They claim him off waivers from the Reds, and they had to designate somebody for assignment because of this, and they designate Livan Soto for assignment. Contreras is a relief pitcher for the Reds. If you had to compare him, he's very comparable to Soto, not Livan Soto, but a Gregory Soto type. So maybe not quite at the same level, but same type of pitch arsenal. It looks like that's it for here in the news bag. So let's continue. We'll move on. That's pretty cool. That's legit.
Okay. Now we'll get on to the sad stuff.
Well, we don't have to talk about super sad stuff. I mean, we could talk about some things that the Orioles did do.
That's true.
Or have done, I guess is a better way to say it. One of the big ones is obviously Tyler O'Neill signing.
Yeah.
And it seemed like last year with the Red Sox, he did pretty well against us. So it seems like that's what we're kind of doing. We're kind of going players that have dominated against the Orioles.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we went Tyler O'Neill and then Gary Sanchez.
Which Gary Sanchez just tormented the Orioles for a few years there. Him and Gleyber Torres, I felt like hit home runs every game.
Thank God Gleyber is not in our division anymore. On the Tigers.
And then we also got someone who has never played in Baltimore against the Orioles, or in America for that sense, Tomoyuki Sugano.
Okay.
So he's a Japanese pitcher. And, you can probably relate to him because he's older like you.
How old is he?
He's 35.
Okay, he's older than me.
Yeah, not by much.
No.
But so he's an interesting one. He had a better ERA last season than Roki Sasaki, but he's 35 and can only throw like 92 miles an hour. So that's the downfall of him. But he's a really interesting one. I think he could have a really good season.
Yeah.
But before we move on, I do want to try to get into some of these the stats for the guys to prove why we did that. So Tyler O'Neill, last season, he had his second best OPS. He had an 847 in 113 games with the Red Sox. And really looking at the stats, I actually compared him and Santander. They're not that far off from each other. I know we feel like Tony, which he did have a great season. He was really clutch for us. But the OPS isn't that different. O'Neill had a better batting average. He had less home runs, but it was really similar for just the difference in playing time because O'Neill had about 150 less at-bats than Santander, but even he has better exit velo. So basically take Tony and maybe take away some of his contact and add some more power.
Right.
And their defense is about the same. They're both bad at defense.
I think the biggest thing with O'Neill is that he's right-handed. Just to have another right-handed bat in there, that was kind of the thing that's really been hindering us the past season and a half, I guess, is all of the lefties. And it seems like you get some side-winding lefty coming against us, and he does pretty well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. It just, I saw like Teoscar out there, but obviously I think he wanted to go to the Dodgers.
Oh, why wouldn't you?
I don't blame him.
I mean,
Ohtani,
Betts, Freeman. I'd want to go to the Dodgers too.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But no, I mean, O'Neill, his baseball savant page, I do really like it. I don't know if you can see looking at my laptop. It's a lot of red.
It is.
But the blue's also in very bad spots. Like his expected batting average is really low. He doesn't have a great launch angle sweet spot percentage, and his squared up percentage, which is just how often you square up the ball, and same with whiff percent and K percent, terrible. Like bottom of the league and that stuff. But then he's also top of the league in expected slug, xWOBA, average exit velocity, barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, bat speed. He crushes the ball when he hits it, but he also misses it a lot. That's kind of the problem with him. It seems like which fits in right how the Orioles were playing last year. Felt like it was a lot of homer.
The one thing I will say is I think it's a big upgrade over Hayes.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? So that's one of our things is we lost Hayes last year. We did struggle kind of finding that guy to replace him. it was more of a struggle than I thought it was going to be, and because Cowser had his up and downs. I mean, he's a rookie, which is fine. Kershaw just couldn't really get off the ground. You know what I mean? So this guy, I think, can be a little. He can play pretty much all three positions and DH. Yeah. So I think that's going to be helpful. So that's kind of where I'm at. The only thing that worried me a little bit was when you were at the winter meetings, they were interviewing Elias, and they're like, "Why did you bring the wall in?"
Because I wanted to sign up.
He wanted to sign O'Neill. I mean, you bring the wall in for like a big guy.
Yeah.
Like,
not Tyler.
Not Tyler.
Like, I'll give it. I mean, and with all the stats I said, when he hits it, it's gonna get over the wall whether it's moved in or not. But yeah, he's going to be an interesting one. And the one thing I feel like we do have to remember is he's not here. He's not starting every game in right field. He's going to platoon because Kjerstad's going to play. And when you have someone like Anthony Santander, been with the team, is a veteran like he is and stuff, you don't really want to sit him as much. You feel like you should start him because he has that potential. And with O'Neill, I feel like you know what you're going to get. Yeah. You brought him here for a purpose. He's going to start a lot of games, but it's kind of eased Kjerstad into the lineup. I feel like more he's been hurt a lot. It feels like every time he gets going, something brings him right back down. And I think it's to try to take some of the pressure off of him so he doesn't have to start in an outfield every single day.
Yeah, so anyway, I think Tyler O'Neill is an upgrade in our corner outfield positions for the platoon spot, like for the Austin Hayes type of feel. I also think people are really going to miss McCann.
Oh,
I also think Gary Sanchez is a huge upgrade on the offensive side for catching. Defense, I'd say they're a wash. Leadership, I think McCann's way over. I think I wouldn't be surprised. McCann's going to be the guy that like takes over Chirinos' spot on our coaching staff someday. Like, or maybe not. Maybe he's a head coach of a team because that's you just look at him. That's what he is. Has McCann even been signed? I have no idea.
No, he's still a free agent.
So. But yeah, so I am excited for Sanchez. Just be prepared. It's going to be kind of like the Adam Jones type-ish, where he's going to hit a bomb or he's going to swing at a pitch that bounces in front of home plate. You know what I mean? So not saying Adam Jones and Gary Sanchez are the same. No, I'm saying approach. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. He did have a decent season last season. Yeah. I mean, for a backup catcher for us, I mean, I think it's a great sign.
Like you said, the defense is definitely a wash. They're both poor defenders, but McCann, what you don't get in offensive production, like you said, you get in the leadership aspect. You get him when he gets hit in the face, he gets right back up to play again, so Adley doesn't have to play 2 games in a row. But like looking at their offensive stuff, it's really not that close. McCann had a better batting average, and he stole 1 more base, and that was it. And Sanchez, he had more home runs, more RBIs, more hits, a better OBP, a better slug, and a better OPS.
Yeah.
And some of the stats were close. Like, McCann still had a better OPS plus, which is surprising, but it was by 1 point.
Right.
Because they're both below league average hitters.
Okay.
But it's a backup catcher. You're not expecting someone that's going to be hitting on the level of an Adley Rutschman or a Wilson Contreras or something like that.
Right.
You want just someone that's going to be steady there day in, day out. And I think that's what we'll get with Sanchez.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was not upset about that signing. Like I said, I am going to miss McCann. I mean, to me, that's he's like a Steve Pearce to me. Yeah. I like Steve Pearce. I hated seeing him on the other teams, but I still, when he came to the stadium, you never hated Steve Pearce because he was a Red Sox. You know what I mean? Or a Ray or a Yankee, or because he played on all of them.
Oh.
So, but so it's one of those things where I understand, and I do like that we weren't trying to put out the exact same lineup as the previous year and just fail the same way again. You know what I mean? Because I think last year the thing that kept hurting the Orioles was the lack of batting depth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just seemed like, especially in the playoffs, when we were just trying to find a hit. The guy on the bench was just struggling just as much as the guy playing.
When Westberg went down, it was really proven that we just didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
And I think as the young guys get older, that'll help a little bit with that. But like you said, just trying to change something. I mean, it's not changing a lot, but it's something. And then the next move, which is definitely changing something, it wasn't predictable at all. I don't know if anybody even knew he was posted or anything. But so we get Sugano coming from the Giants in Japan, and he put up a 1.67 ERA in 156 and 2/3 innings last year. That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I didn't see this coming at all. actually made sure I went to Rock Kabako's Twitter or X, whatever it's called, just to make sure it was legit.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Maybe the Orioles are like, oh, Albert Suarez effect. Maybe teams just can't hit the slow old pitchers. But I will say this guy is pinpoint accurate. He's like the Japanese version of a Greg Maddux type, if you had to compare it. I think, we gave up 2 huge prospects for Rogers last year. We got a guy that on paper looks better than that, and we didn't give up anything, and we didn't really pay much.
No.
So there's really not a risk here. You know what I mean? I'm really good at spending billionaires' dollars. When I look at the Orioles roster and free agents, but I also am not really worried about the billionaires' dollars when they make a mistake on money. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about this. I'm excited to have him. I mean, I'll be honest, if I could compare him to anybody, right, I would compare him to one of your favorite pitchers. When Yin Chen came in, he didn't overpower anybody. Like maybe 94, pinpoint accurate, really good breaking ball. Pitched for us, 3 seasons? Maybe.
Something.
Yeah. I mean, so hey, maybe hopefully he's Win Yin Chen and not Bruce Chen. If you followed the Orioles for a while, Bruce Chen pitched for us for a while, but that's in the bad years, like the bad years, like 2002, 2003 years. But yeah. So like I said, I'm excited to see him. Be honest with you.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because he's not coming here to be the ace.
Yeah.
Like I said, low expectations. If he is our 5 starter and goes out and can just pitch 5 innings and not give up 5 runs every time, I think that's a win because there's so much unexpected with our rotation right now because we may not sign any more free agents. He might be our only free agent pitcher we get, which if that's the case, that's still awful for us. But when you have someone like at the bottom of your rotation, you have K. Povich, Chase McDermott, Brandon Young, these young guys that, Povich is slightly proven. He was here for a little bit. You just really don't know, though, what to expect with them. And all it takes is an injury, which we saw last year when everyone got hurt, literally, like everyone.
Yeah.
And we kind of fell apart. We pieced it together for a little bit, but it hurt. And this is the guy that's not going to – I don't think he's going to get hurt.
Right.
I don't think he's going to – I mean, he's thrown over 100 innings for like 15 seasons.
Yeah.
He's thrown nearly 2,000 innings and has a 2.45 ERA,
yeah.
which obviously the leagues are different and the balls are different and stuff, but it's still baseball.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing to remember is it's above AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the league differences.
Because if it wasn't, everyone stuck in the minors would just go there.
Yeah, right. And the other thing to remember, too, is I think we always feel like the Hyun-Soo Kim type of, like, oh, crap, this is not what – but the Japanese baseball league and the Korean baseball league is 2 totally different leagues.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the Korean baseball league is probably our AA. You know what I mean? And that might be maybe a one, right in the middle of double and triple. Yeah. But don't freak out on that signing. At least we signed something. I mean, I'm gonna say a statement, and I'm gonna be devil's advocate on my own statement. Okay, so one thing that's annoying. Okay, and I follow a lot of Orioles fan pages and stuff like that, is people are trying to defend Orioles ownership and Orioles management for not making moves. So like, trust, all this. I am totally okay with people being upset. Like, I think that's part of it. Like, I think the biggest issue that we as Orioles fans have is we settle. Like, we're so okay on settling because if you were to see the Orioles, the Yankees, the Red Sox, they'd be upset. They'd be ticked off. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? And it sort of forces management to do something, right? But Orioles fans are so okay, not all, but we seem to be okay with mediocrity. And it's just annoying. It's just so annoying. Don't be okay with that. I mean, there's one way of being totally ignorant. There's another being just ticked off. And I think it's okay to be ticked off. I think it's okay to want more. If you don't want more, just be okay with losing first round of the playoffs. And I'm going to be offensive here, but I mean, that's what your dream team from the past did. At the Adam Jones era with Chris Davis. Guess what? They didn't win anything. You know what I mean? We got an AL East pennant, a wild card pennant, but guess what? We've already gotten that. And I think I want more than that. So it's one of those things where I'm just, it's just annoying to the fact that people are okay with just being okay as an Orioles fan base, and that's kind of the spot where I'm at, and I'm totally okay with people being ticked off for not doing more. Now, is it plausible that we could have done more? I don't know. The market's crazy. So my devil's advocate argument here is I still always look at the Astros of the past and what they did. And I thought that they spent more money on pitching, and they did not.
Well, I will say that they didn't spend money on pitching because they traded.
They traded for it. Yep.
You got Garrett Cole,
Yep.
Justin Verlander. Those are two top line aces that they traded for.
Yeah, but in my mind, I thought they were there for a long time.
No, Garrett Cole was only there for like two seasons.
2 seasons.
Yeah.
I thought in my mind though, you know what I mean? Like when you look at it, it looks like they've had these dominant pitchers for forever, and they actually struck out really on more pitchers than they hit on.
Oh, yeah.
Lance McCullers, they missed on him.
I know. I mean, he had a few good years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He had like. No, you're not wrong. But he had like Dean Kramer. One maybe a little above.
It's just
Kramer.
the hair while you're saying Kramer.
Yeah. And McCullers and a couple other guys. I just lost my train of thought there. But it's one of those things where that's where I see us going. I don't really see much in the pitching side. I think if we didn't have Flaherty a season ago, right, we would want him really bad.
100%. Yeah.
I think we just got punched in the mouth by him.
I mean, he left such a bad taste in our mouths.
And kind of the way he acted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if he fits in with our clubhouse or not. But I really just wanted to kind of go on that and just really make sure it's totally okay to want more out of your team, especially when you see this window, especially when we think we have this huge window and Adley's only on our team for 2 more years.
Yeah.
And Gunner's only on our team for 3 more years. Like, it's not 7. It's not 7 years, So it's one of those things where, hopefully we can do something. Even on I don't want to keep trading for 1-year pitchers. Though.
No, we can't just do rentals.
Yeah, no.
Unless we re-sign them.
Yeah.
That's how rental has to. Corbin Burns, he's an exception. Corbin Burns is a different type of pitcher, but like you have to be able to sustain these because you give up your prospects for these 1-year pitchers. Well, if you don't do anything during that 1 year, you gave up a lot for them.
Yeah.
And I still don't regret the Corbin Burns trade.
No, I agree.
But I think, like, I know I have people down like here that we're going to talk about for who we can still sign or trade for. And a Dylan Cease is an idea. We have to be able to re-sign him if we.
Is he on 1 year?
I'm not 100% sure, but still, even 2 years. I don't like a 2-year deal at this point.
Right.
I need that guaranteed. Like, I need them here as long as Adley's going to be here because we're at the point this offseason where nothing's been happening and it just needs to change. And for me, there is one way that the management and ownership can really make up for what's going on right now. And I need to see someone extended. I need an Adley extension. I don't believe we're going to ever extend Gunner. I think he's going to test free agency because if you look at the league right now, he's going to be the next $700 million player. He's the only young guy that can make that can be the next Juan Soto type deal.
Yeah.
Because Bobby Witt already re-signed, so he'll test it. He's going to. But other than that, give Westberg an extension.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a cheap extension right there. You could get him. Look at Jackson Churrio's deal. I think Jackson Chourio got a little over $100 million for like 10 years. Give Jordan Westberg an 8-year, $90 million deal right now.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah, I don't know. And he is only signed for a 1-year deal, he says. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I want to see our prospects get a little more bang for a buck if we're that high. Did you see how far our farm system fell?
Like 20-something.
That's crazy.
I think it's because they're not really counting like Kerstead, Cows, or any of those guys, but we're still, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you have Mayo and Basayo.
Yeah, we have one of the best catching prospects in all of baseball. Yeah, I think also Mayo coming up and struggling.
Yeah, and that's what I think he's going to take the next step this year, hopefully.
So are you in the thought process of would you be okay? Are you at the point where you're okay with trading Mayo or any of those big name prospects?
Not Basayo. I feel like the only person you should hold on to at this point is Basayo. Anyone other than that.
Holiday?
Get rid of. I said last year I wanted us to trade Holiday.
Because my only problem is like I'm just so done with them coming up, and it's taking them 2 years to hit it.
And yeah, that's the thing is Jackson Holiday, he's supposed to be the generational talent. But at this point, if it takes him another year to get there, is it worth with the wait?
Yeah.
And if you can trade a Heston Kjerstad or a Kobe Mayo or a Jackson Holiday to go get Luis Castillo or someone from the Mariners, one of their 15 amazing starting pitchers, I think it's worth it to me.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd trade Holiday. I can trade any of the other ones.
I think you just got to be selective with what you get in return, and you have to understand that if you're trading a Holiday or mainly a Holiday, say you trade Holiday, you don't really there's no package there.
Yeah.
That's the rare you get more MLB players back than you do.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of free agents left that are just not up to the quality of what we need. Like you said, Jack Flaherty, Nick Pavetta's still around. I mean, Max Scherzer, Kyle Gibson, any of those are going to be okay, but they're not going to be. The chances of any of them getting a playoff start are slim.
What are your top 3 free agents that you would like to see signed? Right.
Tanner Scott's my number one.
Absolutely.
Bring him back. I think the possibilities there. Bullpen arms have not been locked up as much. We could totally revamp our bullpen.
Yeah.
And I think that forgives us for that. That I'd forgive us if we could have a thing where I never have to see like half the people. We re-signed Matt Bowman. If I never had to see Matt Bowman throw a pitch at Camden Yards, I would not hate that. It's not that he's bad; he's just not good. But I think give me like a Tanner Scott, give me a Jeff Hoffman.
Yep.
He was for the Phillies last year. He was really good, and then probably just Jack Flaherty. I guess I don't want him, but there's no one him or there's another name that we're never going to re-sign. But I would love Clayton Kershaw to come to us, but he's going to keep doing the thing of 1-year deals with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think mine would be obviously Tanner Scott's my first one. And then this will never happen because I just don't think the Orioles would do it, is if they wanted to keep doing, I don't know if anybody else realizes they do this every year, there's one big veteran that always comes in, and the Max Scherzer would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would be shocked. I think if they did a veteran, you know who I think the veteran they bring in is? Nick Pivetta. I think that's the veteran they try to bring in, that the Kyle Gibson-ish look.
Yeah. Or we bring in Kyle Gibson.
Yeah. I also, so anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. Tanner Scott is almost a must. Like, you have to, you should be the first team calling. You should call him every morning. You say hi to his kids if he has kids. I don't know. Know his dog.
I think he's like a baby.
Yeah, know their animals.
Buy his baby like a golden
pacifier. Some Chewy boxes, showed up at his front door. I don't know what they got to do.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's been on the Marlins for a while, so I think like his standards are probably pretty low.
Yeah, right.
But no, I mean, it's just, there's not much starters left, and if we're not going to trade for somebody, and if we're going to run out this rotation, this is what I put together as a possible rotation as Grayson Rodriguez, Zach Eflin, Sugano, Dean Kramer, and then honestly, I couldn't even pick a single person to be the 5th spot because it could be Cade Povich, it could be Chase McDermott, it could be Brandon Young, it could be Trevor Rogers, it could be Albert Suarez. I don't know. Don't even know what to tell you. But if we're going to run that out, and we're going to run it maybe a 6-man rotation or I just plug in for that 5th day, and we've seen teams thrive and still make it to the playoffs and be very good and win a division with a 5th starter that loses every single game. That's what the Phillies did last year with Taijuan Walker. They lost a game every 5th day pretty much because they didn't have a 5th starter, but they still made it to the playoffs. We can't survive, but they also had an insane bullpen. We could go out there. Even if we don't get Tanner Scott, say he's too pricey, go get Jeff Hoffman, David Robertson, Carlos Estevez, Kenley Jansen. I really like Carlos Estevez. He's super underrated, but there are so many really high leverage relievers that are left that if you plug in, I mean, could you imagine a bullpen with, say, Tanner Scott, Jeff Hoffman, Felix Bautista, Kirby Yates, CNL Perez, Yennier Cano, Keegan Aiken? I mean, that's from top to bottom. When Keegan Aiken's your worst reliever, after the season that he had last year, that's really good. But also you have to remember, Keegan Aiken, he's probably not going to be as good as he was last year. Yennier Cano's been slowly regressing. CNL Perez has been slowly regressing. We lost Danny Coulomb. We could re-sign him still. Yeah. But Jacob Webb's gone.
The one good thing is we don't need a closer this year.
No, thank God Felix is coming back.
Yeah. You said Trevor Rogers, and so it looks like the Orioles are playing 22 spring training games. He better pitch. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. First 4 weeks. My man better pitch 9 innings a week to prove that he's, you know what I mean? Just he needs to hit.
He needs 5-6 good starts.
Yeah. I mean, just every Monday and every
4 or 5.
Every 4 days you're pitching, dude. I mean, dude, just every Tuesday and Sunday, get on the mound.
Yeah.
Give me 3 innings. Let's see that show that you can actually do this, because talk about somebody that needs to prove himself. And that's kind of that's man, that's still such a sour taste in my mouth, man.
Yeah, Connor Norby would have been nice to have at the end of the year last year.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, but I do, I do get it, because I thought, just like everybody, I thought Jackson Holliday was going to step right in.
Yeah.
And
I just...
Yeah, they did get rid of his leg kick, Jackson Holliday, so it's going to look a little different. He's had a whole season. They kind of did that at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So
and he was doing better towards the end.
And so I'm excited to see a whole offseason of him with this new batting approach. So maybe that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna be interesting though.
But okay, so our hopes are dwindling for the start of the season until something happens. We were in the same spot we are this year that we were last year with the hopes, because of all that. I will say though, is when everybody was cheering because a Rubenstein was walking in giving out hats, that can change real quick.
I already don't think that's happening anymore.
Everybody's, oh my God, we got an owner that's gonna do something, and you go in the off season with all these starting pitchers, nothing. Nothing. So that could change real quick. That's gonna be eye opening for him, I think, unless something crazy happens. I do think something crazy is gonna happen. I do. I have a feeling. I don't know why. I think something.
So
I think second week of February. Something's gonna happen, sort of like the Burns trade. It can't be as big. I mean, there's nobody. We trade the Diamondbacks for Burns. No, okay. God, that would tick him off, wouldn't it? But yeah, I for some reason I have a feeling. But I'm gonna go back to this. Guys, we have a leader. We have a guy that's going to lead the league for most seasons in MVP votes, I believe, in Gunnar Henderson. I think Adley Rutschman's going to step up and have a much better season. His season was terrible last year. He's going to have a much better season this year. I just believe it. I think Mountcastle, he stays healthy. He's middle of the road. He's top 15 first baseman.
I think he's going to be traded.
Okay, maybe he is. But okay. We're gonna have Westberg. He's another guy that could easily be top 5 MVP.
Yeah.
We have Holiday. I believe Holiday is gonna be way better. He's gonna have a full season, full spring training in Major League Camp. You got Cowser, who knows what his role is now. He's gonna be a stud. Mullins, I think he's the only one I'm really nervous about. But he is what it is. He's a speed guy, kind of, and then so it's our lineup is. I like that we're not even talking about our lineup.
No, and that's what, I was thinking about it earlier before we started, and I was telling you, do we really need anybody? And the only thing I could think of that we could possibly need is just a backup outfielder. Yeah. I saw, Harrison Bader as a name, but just someone that can play defense. Cowser can play center field, so can Mullins, but we really only have 4 true outfielders on the team. And you probably want someone that can play, unless they're going to stick with Jorge Mateo, which he's coming back and going to be healthy this year.
Huge.
Which that's huge. He had a really great season last year for what his role is, because I think everyone's starting to find their roles, and that's what we need.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm just looking at the free agents that are still out there. I don't know. I don't really see any fielders or hitters that really stand out to me. Jose Iglesias has been connected to us in reports lately. That's not going to be a big ordeal, in my opinion.
I would take him. That'd be fun.
He
had a good 2020 with us.
Yeah, that's true. It's just
we don't need a shortstop.
Would you do a Jerkson Profar?
I don't think we could pay. He had a great season last year, and he's going to want money.
I hear you. Yeah, I'm just running through it, looking, and it's one of those things where.
Did I see Dylan Carlson?
Dylan Carlson.
Dylan Carlson, that could be
26 years old. Wow, he's young.
That could be an interesting one, because he could be a high upside if you tap into something.
Yeah, nobody likes this, and I've said this since the beginning. I still like the JD Martinez. I don't care. I know he can't do anything else.
He can hit though.
I like he never strikes out ever. Yeah. In the playoffs, we could have used a ground ball between first and second base. Like
4 different times.
like,
That could have won a game for us.
Tony Taters, love him. One of my favorite Orioles.
Should not put the ball on the ground.
No, it pop up second base basically. Yeah, that was the second game before the playoffs. But it's just so anyway. I mean, I'm excited to see what something has to happen. It can't keep staying quiet because I think they feel the people with the pitchforks outside of the warehouse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think they feel it, but we got to get rid of the mindset of it's okay to not do anything. I just obviously we can only do so much. Just words and just pressure on our new ownership in our front office. I don't know how much it is Rubenstein. I think it's a little bit of Elias who I'm still a huge Elias fan. He got us here. I refuse to just kick him off. The movie 300, they kick the guy into the hole, but I'm not there. He could leave tomorrow, and I still say his regime was a huge success.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to see how much farther we can go. The thing that does worry me is he has no experience, and he said this is his words, no experience on re-signing players, and that really worries me. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, we're back. I mean, we're super excited to be back on another season with everybody. We're going to be pumping out about 2 episodes a month up until spring training, and then we're going to just attack it. And we just appreciate everybody's support, and just make sure, if you would, like and follow us on our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on X, and we're on Twitter. We're trying to get a new website up before the season begins, and make sure subscribe on. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, and you're watching us on YouTube. And yeah, man. I mean, if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you gotta just go to YouTube and see our new little studio we got going on. So I mean, it's legit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Thank you all. We'll see you next time here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. See ya.